Say roll around, sitting on doves, can't lie, I was high on shrubs.
So topical, back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. Today we're doing top 5 Coen Brothers movies in honor of one of your most anticipated films of next year, which is this year. Which is
Dune 2?
No, the Coen Brothers didn't make Dune 2.
Spider-Verse 4.
No, motherfucker, the two girls. What's that movie called?
Drive-Away Dolls?
Thank you. Dune 2.
What the?
I know they didn't make it. I was being dumb.
Oh
I didn't know what movie was theirs.
You're a buffoon!
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, that's why we're doing this list of top 5 Coen Brothers movies, because they're making a movie this year. One of them's making a movie this year called Drive-Away Dolls, apparently. And they're not making Dune or a Spider-Man movie. But the rule for this list, if one Coen brother makes a movie, this makes the list. They're associated together, so he'll tell you how our top 5s work, and then we'll get into it.
So he's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3-2, 3-2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rules, just because we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher. Then we only talk about it once.
So, knowing my best friend, who's sitting beside me with a nice jacket, it must be new, I've never seen it before.
Got it in Texas.
Driving around in a 4-door mango Lexus.
I hate mangoes.
I love mangoes.
Garbage.
Knowing him, I know this is a Zemeckis, and it is Fargo.
Barely.
Barely?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought that shit was going to be number 2 for you, but my number 4 is Blood Simple. You have a young Frances McDormand, you have a love triangle, you have murder and hijinks, and a splash of their humor to make it really feel like a Coen Brothers movie. Watching this is a no-brainer that they could make a movie like No Country for Old Men later in their career, because this movie has tense like Boy Scouts go camping, you know what I'm saying?
That shit whack.
Crazy good, phenomenal third act. The hijinks is logical, it makes sense. The characters, you don't need a ton of dialogue, you don't need a ton of exposition or backstory. The script is so well written that between the words that they're saying and the body language and the directing choices, you know who's scummy as shit, you know everyone's characteristics just by watching the film and paying attention. And because of that, I think it's one of their best, but they make a lot of good movies.
That's true.
So I had to put it on my list at my number 4 spot.
My number 5 is not going to be on your list at all, which is fine. I don't think it's for everybody. But my number 5 is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I really love all of the little movies that are inside this movie. The only one that I don't enjoy as much as the others, I think, is the one with Liam Neeson and the guy that has no arms or legs.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I like all the other ones. Obviously, the Buster Scruggs one is incredible. I really like the Franco one. I really dig the end one a lot also. I like all of them pretty much, except that one. And a lot of memes came from that, so I like memes too.
Nice!
And my number 4 is going to be The Tragedy of Macbeth. It's really good. Denzel Washington is an incredible actor. Frances McDormand is an incredible actor. These guys are pretty good directors. So to see them just take a Shakespeare script and give it kind of some of their style and flair, I really enjoyed. I know a lot of people thought it was boring, but they probably thought that they were going to get more of a twist on Shakespeare than it really was, but I thought it was great. And it's my number 4.
I watched it and I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Number 3 is a movie with language that I can't understand. You hate this movie,
This
but
movie's stupid.
I find it funny. I find it to be a good balance of what the Coen brothers bring to the table, and it is the Big Lebowski. Their humor is on point in this film, and the movies that they want to make is prevalent, which is the crime genre with their twist of comedy on it. And without movies like this that mixing these genres, I don't think we get a Taika Waititi like down the road, because this is a crime movie with a whole bunch of dumb shit thrown in there to make it hilarious. You have a ton of great dialogue in this film. A lot of lines that I love personally that you hate, which makes me love them a little bit more. That's just like your opinion, man. Love that one. Favorite one. You get the Jesus. A lot of great stuff from this movie. However, I will agree with him just a little bit. It's a little overrated. I don't think this movie is good enough to be seen 3 times a week on like merchandise or more. So
Yeah.
the dude abides, but the dude shouldn't be on your shirt. That's just kind of how I feel.
I love that. Yeah, The Big Lebowski is one of the rare examples where I have let other people ruin that movie for me, because most of the people I know who like that movie have like no fuck. They probably don't even know who the Coen brothers are. Like, they're just like, oh, like me and my buddies got high and watched this movie, stoner classic. Let's fucking rip a bong, dude. Like, I'm just fucking sick of that. Like, it's so stupid. Pretty much any movie that has been solely adopted by stoner culture is just going to be an absolute no for me, because I can't stand listening to them talk about it. So, it is what it is. Maybe one day I'll get over it and I'll like The Big Lebowski. But
I've never heard dude be so funny before in my life. My number 2, very difficult, but this is our top 5 favorite Coen Brothers movies. My number 2 is No Country for Old Men. This film is phenomenal. Top 50 greatest films of all time, in my opinion. When it comes to the thriller genre, it is a classic without a shadow of a doubt. This film is impeccably made. The only issue I have with it is this is a film that's going to confuse the fuck out of you the first time you watch it. Because, spoiler alert, Josh Brolin just dies for no reason, it seems like. It's like, who the fuck killed Josh Brolin?
I don't know!
On the rewatches, I've grown to appreciate it more and love it more because I get it. This is a huge world. This is the real world. Like, he's nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, it makes so much sense and such a great choice that will turn some audience members off. But other than that, this film's basically perfect. You have one of the greatest performances of the 2010s with Anshan Chigurh. The coin flip scene. You've heard people talk about this movie a lot. I don't need to talk about it anymore.
yeah,
But I'm assuming it's on your list, so you're going to talk about it just a little bit more.
sure. My number 3 was the Zemeckis from before, which is Fargo. Yeah, it really just came. My 1, 2, and 3 all just came down to personal favorites. Because I think that this movie is probably a little better, like, overall than what's my number 2, but I like my number 2 more, which is going to be your number 1, which is great. Sure, I love that. But yeah, Frances McDormand is incredible. This movie has a lot of kind of what you talked about already, in that the Coen brothers are just incredibly good with blending the really dark humor inside of like a crime story. But they don't they don't skimp on the crime. Like, the crime in their movies is like cold-blooded shit. Like, I mean, I'm sure that the thing most people know from Fargo is the wood chipper scene. You might not even know that that's from Fargo, but you've probably seen that wood chipper scene, and it doesn't hold back. And so, given the setting that it's in, to not just how, it makes red pop being so snowy, it just adds extra elements to it because the weather is also always a factor. Frances McDormand's character is one of my favorite on-screen cops of all time. I think she's absolutely incredible. But you get good stuff from Buscemi in this movie, and you get good stuff from what's the other guy's name?
I don't know.
He's in like so many movies, and I don't like.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's got like a halfway. I don't know if a twist is the right word, but when the moment comes where like it clicks in her brain what's going on, I think that's like a great moment.
You talking about the guy with
Steve
Buscemi, or you talking about
Bannon?
William H. Macy?
William H. Macy is who I'm thinking
I thought you were
of.
talking about the taller dude from.
No, I was talking
Professional.
about William H. Macy,
Yeah.
whose name was escaping me.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I
He's
really
shameless.
I dig Fargo a lot.
Yeah, Fargo, again, more of a personal preference thing. Filmmaking quality is incredible. Just the entertainment to me, the value of entertainment, I get that more from Blood Simple. I get that more from The Big Lebowski, more from No Country for Old Men, and more from number one. And that's basically just what it came down to, personal preference.
That's fair.
I'm assuming that my number 2 is your number 1, which is Inside Llewyn Davis.
No.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
That movie's phenomenal. The soundtrack is just
Perfection.
the color palette for this movie. It honestly makes and breaks the movie in my mind, because like if you film that normally and don't add that color twist to it, the film just doesn't have that same vibe.
Yeah.
Just the retelling of Homer and the Odyssey inside this film of the old dirty ass South with criminals and con artists and shysters and the Ku Klux Klan and all this crazy shit just thrown in this movie. Just all works. It does exactly what it needs to do. You have John Goodman. He pops in. He does his thing. You have a bunch of other stuff like that in this movie where people just pop in that are relatively famous and they like kill their part and you move on to the next bit. Just one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life when it comes to pure joy, because these are prisoners, but you're rooting for them because everyone else in this movie is so fucking shitty. And the Coen brothers are very, very good at making characters that you aren't supposed to like, giving them little quirks and qualities within the script to make them very unlikable. And he knocks it out. They knock it out with this film when it comes to that aspect.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Bottom Soggy Boys,
Soggy Bottom Boys?
I knew I was saying it wrong in my head. Fine, I can't even. It's stuck now. It's stuck in that order.
Bottom Soggy?
Yeah. The Soggy Bottom Boys.
Boys Bottom?
Yeah.
Boys Soggy
Whoa.
Bottom?
No. When it comes to them, I just want them to succeed. I want them to fucking make great music. I want George Clooney to get his hair slicked back and get his wife back. I just want these dudes to win in life.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah, this movie is absolutely incredible. It's so much fun. It's very niche. Like, so many people will watch that movie and be like, I don't know what the fuck I just watched. And I feel bad for those people because, like, you tried too hard. Like, you just really got to kind of sit back and obviously knowing that it's based on Homer and the Odyssey will help you make a lot more sense of that movie. But it is just really fun. Great soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks in movies of all time. It's like absolutely incredible. All the songs in there fit so well within the scene that they're in. Probably like my second favorite George Clooney movie. Or like maybe Character is more fair because I'd probably pick Danny Ocean over that. But like
that's fair.
But yeah, incredible Clooney. I'm just now realizing how much Mr. Fox is just kind of a not Southern version of his character in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which I think is cool because for some reason George Clooney is just really good at like fast talking, like shyster stuff, but like he's talking so fast that even he doesn't really know what he's saying sometimes, which is different from the Oceans because he is always in control. But in Oh Brother, it comes across really well, and I dig it. He's got his homies following him to the end. One of them gets turned into a frog.
He does get turned into a frog.
One more thing.
Well, we kind of already talked about everything because No Country was my number one. So
Yeah, and you just went to your number 2. You have anything to say about No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, incredible movie. I did not feel the same way the first time I watched it. I kind of dug, like, the whole Josh Brolin just shows up dead at one point. But to me, I feel like they've already kind of switched focus to Tommy Lee Jones at that point. So, like, I'm curious about, how all that happened and everything. But to me, like, the fact that Shigure didn't get him either elevates that death to me. But yeah, the theme of, like, he didn't matter at all. He's essentially one big red herring in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have a MacGuffin carrying a red herring, or you have a red herring carrying a MacGuffin around. Yeah, I think that movie's incredible. I could, it and Oh Brother both have a ton of rewatchability to me. They are both incredibly long, so it's not like these are movies that I'm revisiting a ton. It would be a lot easier for me to put, like, Oh Brother on in the background, but I would still stop whatever I was doing to go watch it because it's such a visual movie. But No Country, I think I just like the storytelling in it. I love Tommy Lee Jones's character. I love the genre a little bit more. I don't really know what genre you put Oh Brother Where Art Thou in, other than, like,
Neo-realism, crime drama.
Play adaptations. I mean...
oh, you're talking about Oh Brother.
Or, like, book... Yeah, Oh Brother.
Yeah.
Like, book adaptations. I don't know. But, yeah, it literally is just a matter of personal preference. I could see Oh Brother or No Country flip-flopping on anyone's list. So, I'm here for either of them.
But not for long, because that's the end of the video. Make sure you put your top 5 in the comment section down below. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rage thing.